today's class, we learn what are the different types of steering gear. So types of steering gears. Okay, so there are two types of steering gears. One, it is Davis steering gear, and the second one is Ackerman steering gear. So these are two types of steering gear are generally accepted globally. So first we'll learn what is a Davis gear mechanism. So Davis steer gear we'll learn now. Okay. So now first let me draw the figure. Okay. So in the front wheel, only the front wheel I am going to draw. So here it is an A and B, and there is a two arms which are pivoted at A and B. So that explanation I will give. First, let me complete the diagram. Okay. So only the front axle I have drawn now. First, this is the condition when the vehicle is moving in a straight motion. Okay. So in that condition, what are the construction of this Davis steering gear mechanism? We'll understand. Okay. So this type of gear has only sliding gear pairs. Okay. Only sliding pairs are contained in this gear mechanism. And the fundamental equation of gearing in all the position, it should be satisfied in the Davis steering gear. The fundamental equation which we have already discussed in the previous class, that is cot phi minus cot theta is equal to C by B. So that should be satisfied. And this Davis steer gear mechanism in which where arm, this is the arm AG and BF are fixed to the stub. So this will be the stub of the front axle. So this we can call as stub axle. Okay, so this arm AG and the arm BF both are pivoted at A and B. Okay, and this AP and BQ to form the two sliding, okay, to form the two sliding or similar bell crank lever. So here it makes the bell crank. So this motion we called as a bell crank levers. Okay, so when you will take the turning, so it at the pivot it will start sliding. Okay, that mechanism we called as a bell crank lever. Now the angle which is produced from here, QBF, okay, and another A PAG. One is PAG and QBF are pivoted. This is pivoted at A and QBF is pivoted at B. Now, the link LM is a cross link which is constrained and it is parallel to the link A and B. The link LM, it is constrained. So the sliders, there are two sliders are used, S1 and S2. So this LM, it will be parallel to the AB when the vehicle is in the straight motion. Now, the end of the link, the end of the cross link LM. Okay, so for this link LM, there is a sliders, two sliders are used, S1 and S2. So these sliders are free to slides through the link AG and through the link BF. These two sliders can make the sliding over these links. Okay, so these are all during the straight line motion when the vehicle is moving in the straight motion. Okay, when the vehicle gets inclination or if you take the turning, the arm AG and the arm BF, that will be get into the left side or it may be get into the right side. The position of AG and the position of BF, it will get changed, and the link MF, it will change their position if you take the right or left turning. Okay, now I will explain the sum. Here we are going to derive some equation. So let us say where X is the, now if you taking the turning in the second diagram, better we will draw one more time when you will take the turning. The same diagram, it will be modified now. So it will be A and B here, and this is the link AG and this is the link BF. And when you start taking the turning, this position of the link LM, suppose the M is here now, this will change the position from L to M. If you take the, we'll take the left side turning will make it. Now the L position, it will shift from L to this angle, and M, it will change the position from here to here. Okay, so this is now L earlier, now it becomes L dash, and this is M and it becomes now M dash. This is the vertical one. Okay, and where H is the, it is the height from the link AB to LM, and the X, it will be the distance from cross link which will move from L to L dash and M to M dash, that we will indicate as X. Okay, and M to M dash, it will be same, it will be X. X is the distance which is moved. Now before we have the D, it is the distance from the cross link AG to the A. Okay, link distance from L to A, that is distance we have already taken as D in the initial stage. Okay, now again H, which I already mentioned, it is the height from the link LM to AB, and D is the distance from the plane L to A, or also you can take the distance from B to M, that will be same. Now we will indicate the sum of the angle. For inclination here we will take alpha. Alpha is the angle made by this one. For the link BF, the angle made, and alpha is the angle made by AG. So that is already which are indicated alpha. And now after the taking the turning moment, so the angle, it will be changed now. So where we will indicate theta and phi, these are the angle turned by the stub axle, theta and phi. So first we will indicate the theta here for changing the angle. So we'll take theta for this one. the angle from L to L dash, it is made by theta, and M to M dash, it is made by phi now. Okay, so phi is the angle made by theta is angle made by L to L dash, and phi is the angle made by M dash. Okay, so you can make separate list here if you want to know, because again you need to extend here. And after that, again we need to find the instantaneous center point for this. Okay, so when the link BF, it takes turning over the right side, so the wheel, it will get turned like this. This will be the wheel or tire. And for at A, this wheel, it will take in this direction, right? So this is a wheel. Now to calculate the instantaneous center, find the draw the axis line for the wheel. Okay, so this axis line and the axis line for the A, so this is the center. Then both meet at one point, so that will be called as a instantaneous center point. So we'll indicate as I. Okay, so when this axis of the both the wheels to meet at this point, that will be instantaneous. Now if you draw one vertical line from here, from that point, so this will be the height. Now let us say L is the total height from the this stop to the instantaneous center. Okay, and the angle, whatever the angle phi, it will be same here now. And here the theta, this angle, it will be theta. Okay, so after that, if you considering the this projection here at this angle, if you apply the a rectangle triangle, it becomes a rectangle triangle now by considering the both the angles alpha and theta with there. So now from the geometry, we can write, if you look at this position, where